was 5 years old, the teacher pulled out a globe to teach us the earth's a globe. I believed what I was told, embracing my education. Didn't know that globes were only created for decoration, not for scholastic purposes that make people feel purposeless. We're living on level surfaces covered by the firmament. I remember how absurd it sounded when I first heard of it, but our God is fervent and his word is perfect and permanent. We're programmed when we're children, our minds are kept in a prison. This is the work of the devil, the evil plan of a villain. We're taught to accept how we're living in these hellish conditions, and every day we're unwittingly being hexed by magicians. By Satan's hand they are driven, they're strictly sent to dismantle the population. They won't stop till your soul is stripped from its vessel. They claim your life is an accident and you're really not special. Don't be afflicted by their fiction, come and get on my level. They say the world's a globe, but the evidence doesn't cut it. They just give us cartoon pictures and everyone seems to love it, but the earth's a level plane, whether or not you want it. Take a look and do your research, I bet that you can't debunk it. 23 billion bucks, that's a hell of a fucking budget, just to lie to everyone and successfully fool the public. If you wanna break away from your destiny as a puppet, then research flat earth, but don't be upset when you can't debunk it. They clearly can't prove their theories. Come and get on my level. Something's fishy, these fools are shifty. Come and get on my level. They can't trick me, their lies are silly. Come and get on my level. It's a pity they treat us shitty. Come and get on my level. Hurry quickly, we must get busy. Come and get on my level. Yeah, it's risky, but just stick with me. Come and get on my level. Can you hear me? Please don't be dreary. Come and get on my level. Don't be with me, you people really need to get on my level. ODDTV, I'm coming with a disruption. With all my flat earth homies on a Hitler production. Separate fiction from fact, we're gonna end the corruption. Letting people know the earth is flat, end of discussion. Dave Murphy is your teacher, boy, class is in session. And Eddie Bravo's in this bitch to teach your asses a lesson. Tanner Stewart's in the house, he's gonna show you the ropes. He's gonna school you on how NASA's just a joke and a hoax. Let me introduce you to the rest of my posse. We got Johnny G and Papa and Santos Bonacci. We're at the core of the resistance and we'll never obey. And there's my brother from another mother, Eric Dubay. If he debates Neil deGrasse Tyson, he will rip off his head. I'll rap about it on a beat I made and rip it to shreds. If the earth's a globe, then how come they can't give an example? Their lies are flimsy, it's a pity, come on, get on my level. They say the world's a globe, but the evidence doesn't cut it. They just give us cartoon pictures and everyone seems to love it, but the earth's a level plane, whether or not you want it. Take a look and do your research, I bet that you can't debunk it. 23 billion bucks, that's a hell of a fucking budget, just to lie to everyone and successfully fool the public. If you wanna break away from your destiny as a puppet, then research flat earth, but don't be upset when you can't debunk it. They clearly can't prove their theories. Come and get on my level. Something's fishy, these fools are shifty. Come and get on my level. They can't trick me, their lies are silly. Come and get on my level. It's a pity they treat us shitty. Come and get on my level. Hurry quickly, we must get busy. Come and get on my level. Yeah, it's risky, but just stick with me. Come and get on my level. Can you hear me? Please don't be dreary. Come and get on my level. Don't be with me, you people really need to get on my level.
ODDTV.
Never sleep again.
Hello. Welcome to Time with Dottie. So, it is November 2021, the day before Thanksgiving, and I will be streaming tomorrow on Thanksgiving, sometime in the evening, like 7 or 8 p.m. And it will be my first call-in show, so hope you're all looking forward to that. I know I am. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Looks like everybody's on YouTube. Thank you for being here. You can make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube. I'm sure all of you are. You can also subscribe to my D Live, which is Retarded Bear, and my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Dotties. So, what's happening, everyone? Hello to Doc Michael, Sue Finale, Eric DeLeon, and 888 Industries 640015. Sounds better now? Was it worse before? Or like on a previous stream? Or earlier this stream? When was it when was it worse? Now I'm like worried. But not great connection for me. What, like right now? My stream set my screen my oh my gosh. My screen. Nope. Stream screen says that I got like full bars. So, is it just you that's having problems? Is like everything good tonight? Screen freezing a bit. Yes, now. Like, is it good? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you, Eric. Could be. Could be. Anyway, if you want to support me, my channel, Cashapp and PayPal, my P.O. Box are in the description, as well as links to my other channels. If you would please subscribe to them, I would appreciate that. Make sure and give this video a Rogan's up. And, yeah, I mean, I don't really know much of anything else. Yeah, pretty excited for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Gonna get real fat on some food. We all scream for ice cream. Yeah, exactly. My screen froze for a second. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. You're all lucky that I'm even able to live stream, because I just figured out tonight how I can find the link to share it before I go live. And I also just figured out tonight that I can sit on a bar stool and not stand. And so we're halfway through our 5th book of story time, and I just now tonight figured out that I can sit on a bar stool. So if there's connection problems, I mean, I'm just going to light my computer on fire, I guess, because I don't know how to fix anything. And yes, Doc Michael, we are on the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It's the 5th book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. We're halfway through with it. And things are going really well. Yeah, it's really good. Eustace is not a dragon anymore. You know, they left the Dragon Island. And so that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't know what else is happening. What's happening for all of y'all off in the crazy world? Probably a 2-drink minimum if you're sitting on a bar stool. Yeah, I have a hard 2-drink absolute limit. I'll never drink more than 2 drinks because I will never get drunk again. I definitely will never be hungover again. Clem Fandango, what's up? Good to see you here. So yeah, this morning was like sucky and shit. It's very emotional. It was not a good time. But right now, I'm feeling much better. So that's good. That's always good. Nobody wants to be feeling terrible. Young Love 4020, hello, hello. But yeah, I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week at work, and now I'm off until next Tuesday. So, kind of like a mini vacation, and it's really nice. It's really nice because my job would be really awesome if I just didn't have to deal with Walmart, because all of my problems come from something that Walmart did or didn't do. Either way. And they they don't know what they're doing. Nobody there even knows where they are. So, um, but yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that I got my job back as well. Yeah, part-time. I'm getting 15 hours a week, but there's a tree farm near me that I want to go apply at because at least then I could work um, through the next month at the tree farm as well, and get a little bit extra money. And then my job should be starting back up in February. It started in February this year, so I'm thinking it'll start back up in February next year. I'm hoping. And so, I mean, maybe they'll just keep extending hours through January. And then by the time February rolls around, we'll be getting closer to spring and, the season will be starting again. Because, I mean, nobody likes to go and apply for jobs. It's like awful. It's just terrible. I mean, but yeah, gonna be a farmer. Yeah, I mean, if I had acreage, yeah, I would definitely be a farmer or a gardener. I mean, I don't know. When it's like just your own small homestead, pretty sure you're just a gardener. Grow cannabis trees. Mm, maybe. I'd like to grow hemp. Learn how to weave hemp and make stuff out of hemp. I think that'd be super awesome. But yeah, I would love to like build garden beds for people, like assess their space and tell them, yeah, put these garden beds here, do all these things to make it aesthetically pleasing. And yeah, I would love to do that. I think that'd be awesome. But I'm going to start doing more streams. So, I mean, maybe my job will just be to be a live streamer because the more that I work with other people and for other people, the more that I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. but but yeah, I am going to start doing um, a Thursday stream, so that'll be conspiracy chat. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Thanksgiving, the alleged origin of it, and then I'll have call-ins, and so you all can keep that in mind for the springtime. Be wonderful. Be outside teaching garden. Yeah, definitely. I think that everybody should learn how to grow some kind of food. So I would love to give that to people. Barbazina Bear, hello. Um, but yeah, so tomorrow we'll be talking about the alleged uh, origin of Thanksgiving, and then I'll have a call-in show. So any of you, if you have Thanksgiving gravy, you can ladle it. And I mean, you can just call in and chat with me. And you will be required to tell one thing that you're thankful for if you call in. So, and don't make it something gay and stupid. Like, make it something legitimate that you're actually thankful for. Okay? Please don't make me ban you when you're on the call. And yeah, you might have a time limit. Still debating, might give you like 5 to 10 minutes for your call and then go to someone else. We'll just see how many people call in. Never had call-ins, so we're just gonna see what happens. Sure, it'll be a wonderful dumpster fire. Yeah, you know my number, 867-5309. There it is. There it is, people. He already knows it. So y'all ready to listen to another 2 chapters? I hope you are, because we're going to do this. So better get ready if you're not ready. We're continuing The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, my most favorite book in this series. Thanksgiving plans got canceled at the last minute. Was going to Florida. Oh well. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that is definitely unfortunate. So, but you can join my live stream, you know, you can join live chat. Maybe you can call in. So, that'll make up at least for a little bit, but kind of sucks when you're just like, oh, I was planning on eating until I, fell asleep, and then you're not able to. But I mean, there's bound to be someone around who's like, hey, we got extra food, come eat it. But never know. Never know. I would love to have, like, well, it's weird because I want to live in like a tiny house or an RV, but I equally would like to have enough space that I could have like a big, big, huge get together. But I guess that would just be like I can just build an outdoor structure and like an outdoor kitchen and have a bunch of people over for that. Put you all outside, not put you in my tiny house. And because yeah, I think it would be super fun to just cook just a bunch of stuff, have a bunch of people over. So I like cooking and I like eating. Nobody wants to read Harry Potter. I did think about reading that series after we get through Chronicles of Narnia, after we get through The Lord of the Rings. So all of those, you're like invested into like 2 years of some story time here. I thought about reading Harry Potter, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel. I don't know. I mean, I used to be like a big Harry Potter nerd, and I still am in some ways, but I don't know, when you wake up to flat earth, like things change, things aren't really, it's not really the same. So I'm not like as big of a nerd as I was, but always be a Hufflepuff for life. So there's that. We'll see. I mean, by the end of the Lord of the Rings, y'all might hate me. So who knows? Who knows where we're going to be? Gonna go to some family around here. All's good. Nice. At least you're getting some food. Clem Fandango, you're a Ravenclaw. Yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. I'm talking to you, you seem like a Ravenclaw. Yeah, definitely. The funniest thing, not doing anything Thanksgiving-ish tomorrow. I'm not invited. Well, Sue, I wish you were close by because I would love for you to come to my place and get fat with me. So, yeah, my mom invited her coworker over, but he's not coming. So I invited one of my friends over, the robot here in chat. So he's gonna come over, hang out, and yeah, I don't know. I always try to find someone who like doesn't have plans, doesn't have anywhere to go, and is like, hey, come on over, eat the food, hang out. It's like everyone always has way too much food on Thanksgiving, so yeah, it's nice to find people they're just like, well, I'm just like not doing anything, so just another day. But yeah, Sue, I wish that you were closer because I would love to have you over. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I would probably keep you forever. Just saying. So, and you're small, so you can fit in a lot of places. So, I'll just keep you here forever. No one will ever know. We got 2 pies in my fridge. We got a pumpkin pie. My mom just made a chocolate pie. Ooh, it's all going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Heck yeah. So excited for food. Been looking forward to that all week. Oh, yeah. Gonna get so fat. Probably going to fall asleep on my live stream. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right. Now that I'm like extra hungry, we ready to do this? We're on chapter 9. The Island of the Voices. Let's sit back and enjoy the story. And now the winds, which had so long been from the northwest, began to blow from the west itself, and every morning when the sun rose out of the sea, the curved prow of the Dawn Treader stood upright across the middle of the sun. Some thought that the sun looked larger than it looked from Narnia, but others disagreed. And they sailed and sailed before a gentle yet steady breeze, and saw neither fish, nor gull, nor ship, nor shore. And stores began to get low again, and it crept into their hearts that perhaps they might have come to a sea which went on forever. Sounds like gravy. But when the very last day on which they thought they could risk continuing their eastward voyage dawned, it revealed right ahead between them and the sunrise a low land lying like a cloud. I love Sue. Sue Finelli is the team leader, and she is the best. The best there ever was. Truly. They made harbor in a wide bay about the middle of the afternoon and landed. It was a very different country from any they had yet seen. For when they had crossed the sandy beach, they found all silent and empty as if it were an uninhabited land. But before them there were level lawns in which the grass was as smooth and short as it used to be in the grounds of a great English house where 10 gardeners were kept. Fatsgiving, yeah, literally. I need to remember not to read the chat when I'm in the middle of a paragraph, because then I always lose my place. Like, where were we? Oh my gosh, where were we? The trees, of which there were many, all stood well apart from one another, and there were no broken branches and no leaves lying on the ground. Pigeons sometimes cooed, but there was no other noise. Presently they came to a long, straight, sanded path with not a weed growing on it and trees on either hand. Far off at the other end of this avenue they now caught sight of a house, very long and gray and quiet looking in the afternoon sun. Where do you say? That's funny. Almost as soon as they entered this path, Lucy noticed that she had a little stone in her shoe. In that unknown place, it might have been wiser for her to ask the others to wait while she took it out, but she didn't. She just dropped quietly behind and sat down to take off her shoe. Her lace had got into a knot. Before she had undone the knot, the others were a fair distance ahead. By the time she had got the stone out and was putting the shoe on again, she could no longer hear them. But almost at once she heard something else. It was not coming from the direction of the house. What she heard was a thumping. It sounded as if dozens of strong workmen were hitting the ground as hard as they could with great wooden mallets, and it was very quickly coming nearer. She was already sitting with her back to a tree, and as the tree was not one she could climb, there was really nothing to do but to sit dead still and press herself against the tree and hope she wouldn't be seen. Thump, 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 and whatever it was must be very close now, for she could feel the ground shaking, but she could see nothing. She thought the thing or things must be just behind her. But then there came a thump on the path right in front of her. She knew it was on the path not only by the sound, but because she saw the sand scatter as if it had been struck a heavy blow. But she could see nothing that had struck it. Then all the thumping noises drew together about 20 feet away from her and suddenly ceased. Then came the voice. It was really very dreadful because she could still see nobody at all. The whole of that park-like country still looked as quiet and empty as it had looked when they first landed. Nevertheless, only a few feet away from her, a voice spoke, and what it said was, "Mates, now's our chance." Instantly, a whole chorus of other voices replied, "Hear him! Hear him! Now's our chance," he said. "Well done, Chief. You never said a truer word." Globusters, you're first? Yes! Always such an honor when Bob is in chat. Just awesome. Top tier. Top tier. The voice of, yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, Eric. Nobody knows who the voices are from. I mean, this chapter is called The Island of the Voices, so we can hope that we're going to find out. We can hope. What I say, continued the first voice, is get down to the shore between them and their boat, and let every mother's son look to his weapons. Catch 'em when they try to put to sea. Ah, that's the way, shouted all the other voices. You never made a better plan, Chief. Keep it up, Chief. You couldn't have a better plan than that. Lively then, mates, lively, said the first voice. Off we go. Right again, Chief, said the others. Couldn't have a better order. Just what we were going to say ourselves. Off we go. Immediately the thumping began again, very loud at first, but soon fainter and fainter till it died out in the direction of the sea. Lucy knew there was no time to sit puzzling as to what these invisible creatures might be. As soon as the thumping noise had died away, she got up and ran along the path after the others as quickly as her legs would carry her. They must, at all costs, be warned. While this had been happening, the others had reached the house. It was a low building, only 2 stories high, made of a beautiful mellow stone, many windowed and partially covered with ivy. Everything was so still that Eustace said, I think it's empty, but Caspian silently pointed to the column of smoke which rose from one chimney. They found a wide gateway open and passed through it into a paved courtyard. And it was here that they had their first indication that there was something odd about this island. In the middle of the courtyard stood a pump, and beneath the pump, a bucket. There was nothing odd about that, but the pump handle was moving up and down, though there seemed to be no one moving it. There's some magic at work here, said Caspian. Machinery, said Eustace. I do believe we've come to a civilized country at last. At that moment Lucy, hot and breathless, rushed into the courtyard behind them. In a low voice she tried to make them understand what she had overheard, and when they had partly understood it, even the bravest of them did not look very happy. You know what? Who has seen Kirk Wilson? He has not been here in quite a few weeks now. And is he okay? Like, does anybody know? I haven't seen him in chat in a while. No, it's so random. I just thought of that. But, like, does anybody know where Kirk is? Because he's always in story time. And he hasn't been here for a while. So, I'm going to make sure he's okay. There's a picture. That's why I thought of him. Because he loved the pictures. But yeah. Where is Kirk? I have not seen him in a while now. So, I don't know if anybody has a way to reach him, his number, anything. I've not seen him in any chats in quite a minute. So, yeah, hope he's okay. Invisible enemies, muttered Caspian, and cutting us off from the boat. This is an ugly furrow to plow. You've no idea what sort of creatures they are. Oh my gosh, did I jump? Wait, I jumped way ahead. I got distracted by the picture. I just jumped, just oh, that's where we were. No, we're not there. God, I don't know where the heck we were. Oh, there it is. They found a wide gateway open and passed. Oh, no. Machinery. Do believe we've come to a civilized country at last. There we are. At that moment, Lucy, hot and breathless, rushed. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's where we were. At that moment, Lucy, hot and breathless, rushed into the courtyard behind them. In a low voice, she tried to make them understand what she had overheard, and when they had partly understood it, even the bravest of them did not look very happy. Invisible enemies, muttered Caspian, and cutting us off from the boat. This is an ugly furrow to plow. You've no idea what sort of creatures they are, Lou, asked Edmund. How can I, Ed, when I couldn't see them? Kirk is in Curious Life. No, his name on here is Kirk Wilson. He uses his own name. And yeah, he loves story time, and I don't remember the last time that I've seen him. He wasn't in He wasn't in trivia on Monday. He hasn't been in story time for weeks, and I don't know how to get a hold of him, if he's okay, like what. But yeah, Kirk Wilson. Did they sound like humans from their footfalls? I didn't hear any noise of feet, only voices, and this frightful thudding and thumping, like a mallet. I wonder, said Reepicheep, did they become visible when you drive a sword into them? It looks as if we shall find out, said Caspian, but let's get out of this gateway. There's one of these gentry at that pump listening to all we say. They came out and went back onto the path where the trees might possibly make them less conspicuous. Not that it's any good, really, said Eustace. Trying to hide from can't see, they may be all around us. Perhaps they beamed him back to the Enterprise? You never know. I mean, could have sent him in a fake rocket to fake space. Never know. Wouldn't put anything past these people. Now, Drinian, said Caspian, how would it be if we gave up the boat for lost, went down to another part of the bay, and signaled to the Dawn Treader to stand in and take us aboard? Not depth for her, sire, said Drinian. We could swim, said Lucy. Your Majesty's all, said Reepicheep. Hear me, it is folly to think of avoiding an invisible enemy by any amount of creeping and skulking. If these creatures mean to bring us to battle, be sure they will succeed, and whatever comes of it, I'd sooner meet them face to face than be caught by the tail. I really think Reep is in the right this time, said Edmund. Surely, said Lucy, if Rince and the others on the Dawn Treader see us fighting on the shore, they'll be able to do something. But they won't see us fighting if they can't see any enemies, said Eustace miserably. They'll think we're just swinging our swords in the air for fun. I mean, that is pretty fun. Well, there was an uncomfortable pause. Well, said Caspian at last, let's go on with it. We must go and face them. Shake hands all round, arrow on the string, Lucy, swords out, everyone else, and now for it. Perhaps they'll parley. It was strange to see the lawns and the great trees looking so peaceful as they marched back to the beach. And when they arrived there and saw the boat lying where they had left her, and the smooth sand with no one to be seen on it, more than one doubted whether Lucy had not merely imagined all she had told them. But before they reached the sand, a voice spoke out of the air. No further, masters, no further now, it said. We've got to talk with you first. There's 50 of us and more here with weapons in our fists. Hear him, came the chorus. That's our chief. You can depend on what he says. He's telling you the truth, he is. I do not see these 50 warriors, observed Reepicheep. That's right, said the chief voice. You don't see us, and why not? Because we're invisible. Mind-blowing deduction there. Whew. Keep it up, Chief, keep it up, said the other voices. You're talking like a book that couldn't ask for a better answer than that. Be quiet, Reep, said Caspian, and then added in a louder voice, You invisible people, what do you want with us? And what have we done to earn your enmity? We want something that little girl can do for us, said the chief voice. The others explained that this was just what they would have said themselves. Little girl, said Reepicheep, the lady is a queen. We don't know about queens, said the chief voice. No more we do, chimed in the others. But we want something she can do. What is it? Said Lucy. And if it is anything against Her Majesty's honor or safety, added Reepicheep, you will wonder to see how many we can kill before we die. Well, said the chief voice, it's a long story. Suppose we all sit down. The proposal was warmly approved by the other voices, but the Narnians remained standing. Well, said the chief voice, it's like this. This island has been the property of a great magician time out of mind, and we are all, or perhaps in a manner of speaking, I might say we were, his servants. Well, to cut a long story short, this magician that I was speaking about, he told us to do something we didn't like. And why not? Because we didn't want to. Well, then, the same magician, he fell into a great rage, for I ought to tell you, he owned the island and he wasn't used to being crossed. He was terribly downright, you know. But let me see, where am I? Oh, yes, this magician then. He goes upstairs, for you must know he kept all his magic things up there, and we all live down below. I say he goes upstairs and he puts a spell on us. An uglifying spell. If you saw us now, which in my opinion you may thank your stars you can't, you wouldn't believe what we looked like before we were uglified. You wouldn't, really. So there we all there we all were so ugly we couldn't bear to look at one another. So then what did we do? Well, I'll tell you what we did. We waited till we thought the same magician would be asleep in the afternoon, and we creep upstairs and go to his magic book, as bold as brass, to see if we can do anything about this uglification. But we were all of a sweat and a tremble, so I won't deceive you. They were gobbling turkey ghosts. But believe me, or believe me not, I do assure you that we couldn't find anything in the way of a spell for taking off the ugliness. And what with time getting on and being afraid that the old gentleman might wake up any minute, I was all of a muck sweat, so I won't deceive you. Well, to cut a long story short, whether we did right or whether we did wrong, in the end we see a spell for making people invisible. And we thought we'd rather be invisible than go on being as ugly as all that. And why? Because we'd like it better. So my little girl, who's just about your little girl's age, and a sweet child she was before she was uglified, though now, but least said, soonest mended, I say my little girl, she says the spell, for it's got to be a little girl or else the magician himself, if you see my meaning, for otherwise it won't work. And why not? Because nothing happens. So, my Calypsy says the spell, for I ought to have told you she reads beautifully, and there we all were as invisible as you could wish to see. And I do assure you it was a relief not to see one another's faces. At first anyway, but the long and the short of it is we're mortal tired of being invisible. And there's another thing. We never reckoned on this magician, the one I was telling you about before, going invisible too, but we haven't ever seen him since. So we don't know if he's dead or gone away or whether he's just sitting upstairs being invisible and perhaps coming down and being invisible there. And believe me, it's no manner of use listening because he always did go about with his bare feet on, making no more noise than a great big cat. And I'll tell you all gentlemen straight, it's getting more than what our nerves can stand. Such was the chief voice's story, but very much shortened because I have left out what the other voices said. Actually, he never got out more than 6 or 7 words without being interrupted by their agreements and encouragements, which drove the Narnians nearly out of their minds with impatience. When it was over, there was a very long silence. The plot thickens. But, said Lucy at last, what's all this got to do with us? I don't understand. Why, bless me if I haven't gone and left out the whole point, said the chief voice. That you have, roared the other voices with great enthusiasm. No one could have left it out cleaner and better. Keep it up, chief, keep it up. I need hype people like this. Like, they just get it. It's so funny. Well, I needn't go over the whole story again, began the chief voice. No, certainly not, said Caspian and Edmund. Well, then to put it in a nutshell, said the chief voice, we've been waiting for ever so long for a nice little girl from foreign, like it might be you, Missy, that would go upstairs and go to the magic book and find the spell that takes off the invisibleness and say it. And we all swore that the first stranger has landed on this island having a nice little girl with them. I mean, for if they hadn't, it'd be another matter. We wouldn't let them go away alive unless they'd done the needful for us. And that's why, gentlemen, if your little girl doesn't come up to scratch, it will be our painful duty to cut all your throats. Merely in the way of business, as you might say, and no offense, I hope. No offense, we're just gonna cut your throat. Don't be offended by that. Hilarious. I don't see all your weapons, said Reepicheep. Are they invisible too? The words were scarcely out of his mouth before they heard a whizzing sound, and next moment a spear had struck, quivering in one of the trees behind them. That's a spear, that is, said the chief voice. That it is, Chief, that it is, said the others. You couldn't have put it better. And it came from my hand, the chief voice continued. They get visible when they leave us. But why do you want me to do this? Asked Lucy. Why can't one of your own people? Haven't you got any girls? We dursn't. Diggs BTW, what's up? We dursn't, said all the voices. We're not going upstairs again. In other words, said Caspian, you're asking this lady to face some danger which you daren't ask your own sisters and daughters to face? That's right, said all the voices cheerfully. You couldn't have said it better. You've had some education, you have. Anyone could see that. Well, of all the outrageous, began Edmund, but Lucy interrupted. Would I have to go upstairs at night, or would it do in daylight? Oh, daylight, to be sure, said the chief voice. Not at night. No one's asking you to do that. Go upstairs in the dark? Ugh. All right, then I'll do it, said Lucy. No, she said, turning to the others. Don't try to stop me. Can't you see it's no use? There are dozens of them there. We can't fight them, and the other way, there is a chance. But a magician, said Caspian. I know, said Lucy, but he mayn't be as bad as they make out. Don't you get the idea that these people are not very brave? They're certainly not very clever, said Eustace. Look here, Lou, said Edmund, we really can't let you do a thing like this. Ask Reep, I'm sure he'll say just the same. But it's to save my own life as well as yours, said Lucy. I don't want to be cut with invisible swords any more than anyone else. Her Majesty is in the right, said Reepicheep. If we had any assurance of saving her by battle, our duty would be very plain. It appears to me that we have none, and the service they ask of her is in no way contrary to Her Majesty's honor, but a noble and heroic act. If the Queen's heart moves her to risk if the Queen's heart moves her to risk the magician, I will not speak against it. That's right, Reepicheep, you get it. As no one had ever known Reepicheep to be afraid of anything, he could say this without feeling at all awkward. But the boys, who had all been afraid quite often, grew very red. Nonetheless, it was such obvious sense that they had to give in. Loud cheers broke from the invisible people when their decision was announced, and the chief voice, warmly supported by all the others, invited the Narnians to come to supper and spend the night. Eustace didn't want to accept, but he said, I'm sure they're not this. They're not like that at all, and the others agreed. And so, accompanied by an enormous noise of thumpings, which became louder when they reached the flagged and echoing courtyard, they all went back to the house. Chapter 10, The Magician's Book. Oh, what's going to happen now? Honestly, don't remember. I can almost remember what they look like when they turn visible. Almost, but not quite. Not quite. The invisible people feasted their guests royally. It was very funny to see the plates and dishes coming to the table and not to see anyone carrying them. It would have been funny even if they had moved along level with the floor, as you would expect things to do in invisible hands. But they didn't. They progressed up the long dining hall in a series of bounds or jumps. At the highest point of each jump, a dish would be about 15 feet up in the air. Then it would come down and stop quite suddenly about 3 feet from the floor. When the dish contained anything like soup or stew, the result was rather disastrous. I'm beginning to feel very inquisitive about these people, whispered Eustace to Edmund. Do you think they're human at all? More like huge grasshoppers or giant frogs, I should say. It does look like that, said Edmund, but don't put the idea of grasshoppers into Lucy's head. She's not too keen on insects, especially big ones. The meal would have been pleasanter if it had not been so exceedingly messy, and also if the conversation had not consisted entirely of agreements. The invisible people agreed about everything. Indeed, most of their remarks were the sort it would not be easy to disagree with. What I always say is when a chap's hungry, he likes some victuals, or getting dark now, always does at night, or even, you've come over the water. Powerful wet stuff, ain't it? And Lucy could not help looking at the dark yawning entrance to the foot of the staircase. She could see it from where she sat, and wondering what she would find when she went up those stairs next morning. But it was a good meal otherwise, with mushroom soup, boiled chickens, and hot boiled ham and gooseberries, red currants, curds, cream, milk, and mead. The others liked the mead, but Eustace was sorry after that he had drunk any. Eustace doesn't seem like a boy who could handle mead. No, not at all. Not at all. No matter how much he changed, definitely not a mead kind of boy. When Lucy woke up next morning, it was like waking up on the day of an examination or a day when you were going to the dentist. It was a lovely morning with bees buzzing in and out of her open window and the lawn outside looking very like somewhere in England. She got up and dressed and tried to talk and eat ordinarily at breakfast. Then, after being instructed by the chief voice about what she was to do upstairs, she bid good-bye to the others and said nothing, walked to the bottom of the stairs, and began going up them without once looking back. Hey, 7-Eleven Lucas, what's up? It was quite light. That was one good thing. There was indeed a window straight ahead of her at the top of the first flight. As long as she was on that flight, she could hear the tick-tock of a grandfather clock in the hall below. Then she came to the landing and had to turn to her left up the next flight. After that, she couldn't hear the clock anymore. Now she had to come to the top of the stairs. Lucy looked and saw a long, wide passage with a large window at the far end. Apparently, the passage ran the whole length of the house. It was carved and paneled and carpeted, with very many doors opened off it on each side. She stood still and couldn't hear the squeak of a mouse, or the buzzing of a fly, or the swaying of a curtain, or anything except the beating of her own heart. Waters above, hello, my love. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. The last doorway on the left, she said to herself. It did seem a bit hard that it should be the last. To reach it, she would have to walk past room after room, and in any room there might be the magician, asleep or awake or invisible or even dead. But it wouldn't do to think about that. She set out on her journey. The carpet was so thick that her feet made no noise. There's nothing whatever to be afraid of yet. Lucy told herself, and certainly it was a quiet, sunlit passage, perhaps a bit too quiet. It would have been nicer if there had not been strange signs painted in scarlet on the doors, twisty, complicated things which obviously had a meaning, and it mightn't be a very nice meaning either. It would have been nicer still if there weren't those masks hanging on the wall. Not that they were exactly ugly, or not so very ugly, but the empty eye holes did look queer. And if you let yourself, you would soon start imagining that the masks were doing things as soon as your back was turned to them. Got a picture for you. Sleep good, Jennifer. Love you. I did get your message, by the way. I didn't reply. Because obviously here I am. But I did see it. So I hope that all works out for you. Dear Sweetwaters. After about the sixth door, she got her first real fright. For 1 second, she felt almost certain that a wicked little bearded face had popped out of the wall and made a grimace at her. She forced herself to stop and look at it. It was not a face at all. It was a little mirror just the size and shape of her own face, with hair on the top of it and a beard hanging down from it, so that when you looked in the mirror, your own face fitted into the hair and beard, and it looked as if they belonged to you. I just caught my own reflection with the tail of my eyes as I went past, said Lucy to herself. That was all it was. It's quite harmless. But she didn't like the look of her own face with that hair and beard, and went on. I don't know what the bearded glass was for, because I am not a magician. Before she reached the last door on the left, Lucy was beginning to wonder whether the corridor had grown longer since she began her journey, and whether this was part of the magic of the house. But she got to it at last, and the door was open. It was a large room with 3 big windows, and it was lined from floor to ceiling with books. More books than Lucy had ever seen before. Tiny little books, fat and dumpy books, and books bigger than any church Bible you have ever seen. All bound in leather and smelling old and learned and magical. But she knew from her instructions that she needed not to bother about any of these, for the book, the magic book, was lying on a reading desk in the very middle of the room. She saw she would have to read it standing, and anyway, there were no chairs. And also that she would have to stand with her back to the door while she read it. So at once she turned to shut the door. It wouldn't shut. Some people may disagree with Lucy about this, but I think she was quite right. She said she wouldn't have minded if she could have shut the door, but that it was unpleasant to have to stand in a place like that with an open doorway right behind your back. I should have felt just the same, but there was nothing else to be done. One thing that worried her a good deal was the size of the book. The chief voice had not been able to give her any idea whereabouts in the book the spell for making things visible came. He even seemed rather surprised at her asking. He expected her to begin at the beginning and go on till she came to it. Obviously, he had never thought that there was any other way of finding a place in a book. But it might take me days and weeks, said Lucy, looking at the huge volume, and I feel already as if I'd been in this place for hours. She went up to the desk and laid her hand on the book. Her fingers tingled when she touched it as if it were full of electricity. She tried to open it, but couldn't at first. This, however, was only because it was fastened by 2 leaden clasps, and when she had undone these, it opened easily enough. And what a book it was! It was written, not printed, written in a clear, even hand, with thick downstrokes and thin upstrokes. Very large, easier than print, and so beautiful that Lucy stared at it for a whole minute and forgot about reading it. The paper was crisp and smooth, and a nice smell came from it. And in the margins, round the big colored capital letters at the beginning of each spell, there were pictures. There was no title page or title. The spells began straight away, and at first there was nothing very important in them. There were cures for warts by washing your hands in moonlight in a silver basin, and toothache and cramp, and a spell for taking a swarm of bees. The picture of a man with toothache was so lifelike that it would have set your own teeth aching if you looked at it too long, and the golden bees, which were dotted all around the fourth spell, looked for a moment as if they were flying. Night, 7-Eleven Lucas. Thanks for stopping by. Lucy could hardly tear herself away from that first page, but when she turned over, the next was just as interesting. But I must get on, she told herself, and on she went for about 30 pages, which, if she could have remembered them, would have taught her how to find buried treasure, how to remember things forgotten, how to forget things you wanted to forget, how to tell whether anyone was speaking the truth, how to call up or prevent wind, fog, snow, sleet, or rain, how to produce enchanted sleeps, and how to give a man an ass's head, as they did to poor Bottom. And the longer she read, the more wonderful and the more real the pictures became. What, Barbara? What did I read? What happened? Then she came to a page which was such a blaze of pictures that one hardly noticed the writing. Hardly, but she did notice the first words. They were an infallible spell to make beautiful her that uttereth it beyond the lot of mortals. Lucy appeared at the pictures with her face close to the page, and though they had seemed crowded and muddlesome before, she found she could now see them. She could see them quite clearly. The first was a picture of a girl standing at a reading desk reading in a huge book, and the girl was dressed exactly like Lucy. In the next picture, Lucy, for the girl in the picture was Lucy herself, was standing with her mouth open and a rather terrible expression on her face, chanting or reciting something. In the third picture, the beauty beyond the lot of mortals had come to her. It was strange, considering how small the pictures had looked at first, that the Lucy in the picture now seemed quite as big as the real Lucy, and they looked into each other's eyes, and the real Lucy looked away after a few minutes because she was dazzled by the beauty of the other Lucy, though she could still see sort of a likeness to herself in that beautiful face. And now the pictures came crowding on her thick and fast. She saw herself throned on high at a great tournament in Calormen, and all the kings of the world fought because of her beauty. After that, it turned from tournaments to real wars, and all Narnia and Archenland, Telmar and Calormen, Galma and Terebinthia were laid waste with the fury of kings and dukes and great lords who fought for her favor. Then it changed, and Lucy, still beautiful beyond the lot of mortals, was back in England, and Susan, who had always been the beauty of the family, came home from America. The Susan in the picture looked exactly like the real Susan, only plainer and with a nasty expression. And Susan was jealous of the dazzling beauty of Lucy, but that didn't matter a bit because no one cared anything about Susan now. I will say the spell. I don't care, I will. She said, I don't care because she had a strong feeling that she mustn't. Start a gumbo for tomorrow? Yum, that sounds good. I want some jambalaya. That sounds really good. Just can't even wait to eat all the food tomorrow. I'm gonna eat so many sweet potatoes. Oh man, it's gonna be dangerous. But when she looked back at the opening words of the spell, there in the middle of the writing, where she felt quite sure there had been no picture before, she found the great face of a lion, the lion, Aslan himself, staring into hers. It was painted such a bright gold that it seemed to be coming toward her out of the page, and indeed she never was quite sure afterward that it hadn't really moved a little. Thank you very much, Eric. At any rate, she knew the expression on his face quite well. He was growling, and you could see most of his teeth. Excuse me. She became horribly afraid and turned over the page at once. A little later, she came to a spell which would let you know what your friends thought about you. Whew, I would never want that spell. That would be scary, because you don't want to think that people like you and then come to find out like they don't. Like, no thanks. You just keep your opinions to yourself. Unless it's a good opinion, then feel free to share it with me. Now, Lucy had wanted very badly to try the other spell, the one that made you beautiful beyond the lot of mortals, so she felt that to make up for not having said it, she really would say this one. And all in a hurry, for fear her mind would change, she said the words, "Nothing will induce me to tell you what they were." Then she waited for something to happen. I want to eat 1 ton of warm potato salad. Wouldn't that just be like a real thick potato soup? I don't know. Like, aren't you supposed to cool the potatoes before you make potato salad? Warm potato salad just oh, sounds awful. I only like baked potato salad because I don't like sweet relish or relish in general. Don't like sweet pickles, and I don't like mustard, and those are always in um, regular like potato salads. But the baked potato salad, oh yeah, it's with like sour cream or ranch. That's good stuff. And thank you very much. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, I have a couple necklaces over here on my wall, and I figure, why not be a little pretty if I'm going to be on camera, give you something better to look at. Here down in Cajun land, we do not put it in the refrigerator right when you mix everything together. It is still warm, and we eat it like that. It's so much better. Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking funny, but whatever. I figured it out. Yeah, sounds like mashed potato before you mash. Exactly. Yeah, which like I'm 100% down for mashed potatoes, but I mean, then that would be called mashed potatoes. Like, if it's potato salad, it's definitely cold. But I've not spent a lot of time in the South. So, I mean, I got hooked on grits when I was at Bob and Cammy's. And yeah, super obsessed with grits right now. So good. Put some peanut butter in there and banana. Oh, yum. So good. As nothing happened, she began looking at the pictures, and all at once she saw the very last thing she expected, a picture of a third-class carriage in a train with two school girls sitting in it. She knew them at once. They were Marjorie Preston and Anne Featherstone. Only now it was much more than a picture. It was alive. She could see the telegraph posts flicking past outside the window. Then gradually, like when the radio is coming on, she could hear what they were saying. "Shall I see anything of you this term?" said Anne, "or are you still going to be all taken up with Lucy Pevensey?" "Don't know what you mean by 'taken up,'" said Marjorie. "Oh, yes, you do," said Anne. "You were crazy about her last term." "No, I wasn't," said Marjorie. "I've got more sense than that. Not a bad little kid in her way, but I was getting pretty tired of her before the end of term." If y'all would eat it warm. You'll prefer that way. I know it might seem weird, but it is awesome when it is still warm. Dr. Bass Ackwards, what's up? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I will be streaming tomorrow on Thanksgiving in the evening, probably like 7 or 8. And it'll be a call-in show, my very first call-in show. We're all very excited. I know I'm excited, but kind of nervous. You never know what people are going to say, but, whatever. Like, whatever. As long as you're not being awful and talking shit about me, then it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm going to get offended. Being offended is like the most useless emotion or quality that people can have. Just like, why? Why be offended? Why can't you just laugh and like have a good time? Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. The brief time that I was like liberal years back, I definitely would get like a little offended with stuff, but now I'm just like so not liberal at all, not politically involved in any capacity, and yeah, definitely don't get offended. So Bearsgiving, y'all. Yeah, I get to go to a Bearsgiving on Sunday. We're having one here in Washington. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't know if Clem Fandango is still here, but he's going to be there. So I get to meet him finally. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, tons of other people. Bears that I have already met, and then lots of other ones that I have not met. Super excited. Apparently it's Paraplegic Bear's birthday that day. And so we're just having like a big birthday Bearsgiving potluck in a park. And I'm bringing my throwing knives, and I'm making a pasta salad, and I'm making blackberry bars. I need to make some more blackberry jam. Hey, Clem, you are here. But yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be such a good time. There will be 0 people having more fun than us bears at Bearsgiving this coming Sunday. So I cannot even wait. So excited. So excited. Well, you jolly well won't have the chance any other term, shouted Lucy. Two-faced little beast! But the sound of her own voice at once reminded her that she was talking to a pitcher, and that the real Marjorie was far away in another world. Well, said Lucy to herself, I did think better of her than that, and I did all sorts of things for her last term, and I stuck to her when not many other girls would, and she knows it too. And to Annie Featherstone, of all people, I wonder, are all my friends the same? There are a lot of other pictures. No, I won't look at any more. I won't. And with a great effort, she turned over the page, but not before a large, angry tear had splashed on it. On the next page she came to a spell, for the refreshment of the spirit. The pictures were fewer here, but very beautiful, and what Lucy found herself reading was more like a story than a spell. It went on for 3 pages, and before she had read to the bottom of the page, she had forgotten that she was reading at all. She was living in the story as if it were real, and all the pictures were real too. When she had got to the 3rd page and come to the end, she said, that is the loveliest story I've ever read, or ever shall read in my whole life. Oh, I wish I could have gone on reading it for 10 years. At least I'll read it over again. But here, part of the magic of the book came into play. You couldn't turn back. The right-hand pages, the ones ahead, could be turned. The left-hand pages could not. It's true. No one is having more fun than us. That's why I keep company with flat earthers and bears, because there's a lot of overlap in those people, and we think very much the same. We love the gravy and community and crushing and just so much. So yeah, no one is having more fun than us. It's a fact. It's a fact that cannot be denied. Oh, what a shame, said Lucy. I did so want to read it again. Well, at least I must remember it. Let's see. It was about oh dear, it's all fading away again, and even this last page is going blank. This is a very queer book. How can I have forgotten? It was about a cup and a sword and a tree and a green hill. I know that much, but I can't remember, and what shall I do? And she never could remember, and ever since that day, what Lucy means by a good story is a story which reminds her of the forgotten story in the magician's book. Is this still the Voyage of the Dawn Treader? Yes, yes it is. We're on chapter 10 of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and there are 16 chapters, so we're a little over halfway. So 2 more books in this series, and then we'll be reading The Lord of the Rings, and then, I mean, that's going to take like a full year or so to read The Lord of the Rings. And I mean, we'll just have to see what we read next. I mean, I like to read stories that have like a lot of good truth in them. These ones are supposed to be a mirror of the Bible, and then The Lord of the Rings, they're just a really great story with good logos and yeah, just good, awesome, like the trials of like good and evil in there. And so I really like books like that. So I think it's this book where they actually see the edge of the flat earth. Yeah, they've been sailing around looking for the edge of the earth. And yeah. It's definitely a few things in here that I'm like, that's interesting. They earlier they mentioned sailing in a sea that seemed to go on forever, and I just wonder, is that like maybe like part of the Antarctic Sea? I don't know. Kind of interesting. Isn't it? I remember the Dawn Treader reaching the edge of the world where the water was spilling over. Yeah, I think that is that's coming up in one of the. Let's see if one of the chapter names mentions anything. Oh yeah, chapter 14 is the beginning of the end of the world. The 15 is the wonders of the last sea. 16, the very end of the world. Oh, it's just gonna get so good. This has always been my favorite book in this series. It's so good. I just love when Eustace gets turned into a dragon. It's so awesome. So good. But yeah, this is such a good one. The Horse and His Boy is another like really top tier one. That's a really good story. It's just such a good series. I love it so much. I wish that they would have made all the rest of the books into movies, but they only made like 3 or 4 of them into movies. Sorry to spoil it. Oh, no spoilers. It's all good. It's all good. People will forget it by the time we get there. So, or they'll have something to look forward to. So, whatever. Whatever. Globebusters, you're still here. You're awesome. Let's see. She turned on and found to her surprise a page with no pictures at all. But the first words were a spell to make hidden things visible. Each book is awesome. I like The Magician's Nephew. I like that one as well. That one is so good because I love so much when Aslan comes out of darkness and sings everything into existence. I love that so much because, I mean, Aslan is like the representation of, well, I mean, they kind of overlap it. Like it's like he's God, but then they also are kind of making him Jesus as well. But like, I always think of Aslan as God. And yeah, I just think that our realm was created by all these frequencies, and that the stars are playing a song that like we just aren't tuned in to hearing. And like when you see actual videos of stars, they look like they're dancing. They're so beautiful and so wonderful, and I wish so much that we could tune in to the frequency that they're playing in, because it's probably the most full song that you like, you can't even imagine hearing. Like if you could feel all the colors of the rainbow, I feel like that would be the song of the stars. And yeah, I just, oh, I would love it so much if you could hear that song. Great show today, Bob. That stuff was awesome with the scientists discovering Earth to be the center of everything. Nice. I will have to. Oh, yeah. I always forget that Globebusters is on Wednesdays. I don't know why. I'll have to go back and listen to that. Because Globebusters is always very heavy gravy. Absolutely top tier. A spell to make hidden things invisible. She read it. Not cute. Keep up with your comments like that. Not cute. You might get banned. Keep it appropriate. I know it'll look real pretty, but don't be creepy. Come on. Don't be weird. Don't be any weirder than needed. So. She read it through you. Yeah. Yeah. You're on alert. Not cute. She read it through to make sure of all the hard words and then said it aloud. And she knew at once that it was working, because as she spoke, the colors came into the capital letters at the top of the page, and the pictures began appearing in the margins. It was like when you hold to the fire something written in invisible ink, and the writing gradually shows up, only instead of the dingy color of lemon juice, which is the easiest invisible ink, this was all gold and blue and scarlet. There were odd pictures and contained many figures that Lucy did not much like the look of. And then she thought, I suppose it made everything visible, and not only the thumpers. There might be lots of other invisible things hanging about a place like this. I'm not sure that I want to see them all. At that moment, she heard soft, heavy footfalls along the corridor behind her. And of course, she remembered what she had been told about the magician walking in his bare feet and making no more noise than a cat. It is always better to turn round than to have anything creeping up behind your back. Lucy did so. Then her face lit up till for a moment, but of course she didn't know it. She looked almost as beautiful as that other Lucy in the picture, and she ran forward with a little cry of delight and her arms stretched out, for what stood in the doorway was Aslan himself, the lion, the highest of all kings. And he was solid and real and warm, and he let her kiss him and bury herself in his shining mane. And from the low, earthquake like sound that came from inside him, Lucy even dared to think that he was purring. Not cute is in a strange mood tonight. Okay, well, he's got one more chance to not be like, everyone makes mistakes. It's all good. It wasn't awful, but still, you have been warned. You have one more chance that if you can, not be weird, like, you can stay here, but keep up with the really weird comments. You will be banned. I don't like to ban people in my chat. So, you know, Now's your opportunity to do better, be better. Like, don't be a weird gamma. Nobody needs it. But he's on alert now. So, see. I mean, some of the people that find this stream might be like, you just never even know. But on alert. Oh, Aslan, said she, it was kind of you to come. I have been here all the time, said he, but you have just made me visible. Aslan, said Lucy almost a little reproachfully, don't make fun of me, as if anything I could do would make you visible. It did, said Aslan. Do you think I wouldn't obey my own rules? After a little pause, he spoke again. Child, he said, I think you have been eavesdropping. Eavesdropping? You listened to what your two schoolfellows were saying about you. Oh, that, I never thought that was eavesdropping, Aslan. Wasn't it magic? Spying on people by magic is the same as spying on them in any other way. I thought I recognized that name, Barbara. So, we'll see. And you have misjudged your friend. She is weak, but she loves you. She was afraid of the older girl and said what she does not mean. I don't think I'd ever be able to forget what I heard her say. No, you won't. Oh dear, said Lucy, have I spoiled everything? Do you mean we would have gone on being friends if it hadn't been for this, and been really great friends, all our lives perhaps, and now we never shall? Child, said Aslan, did I not explain to you once before that no one has ever told what would have happened? Yes, Aslan, you did, said Lucy. I'm sorry, but please, speak on, dear heart. Shall I ever be able to read that story again, the one I can't remember? Will you tell it to me, Aslan? Oh, do, please do. Indeed, yes, I will tell it to you for years and years. But now, come, we must meet with the master of this house. And that is the end of 2 more chapters. We only have a little handful left of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It's always sad to have a book end. It's like saying goodbye to an old friend. I agree, it's an incredible time to be alive. It feels kind of like the rest of my life was just a dream or something. Yeah, exactly. When you wake up, and like, wow, I mean, was I really that blind? I mean, just a very, very short time ago, 2017, I was 180 degrees different than I am now. And I can't get over like seeing my old Facebook posts. I'm like, wow, I really thought like that? Like, has it only been 4 years, but has it already been 4 years? I mean, wow, what a journey it has been. One really funny memory that popped up on my Facebook was I used to watch the ISS live stream just for fun, just because I was a total space nerd, and I would just watch the ISS live stream. I could go to alleged space, and so I shared a memory of that because it was right after I was watching that my boyfriend at the time woke me up to flat Earth, and so it's just it was just a couple days too that bye 7-Eleven Lucas. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I had shared the picture from the alleged ISS, and then a couple days later, I started, I just started posting other stuff, and a lot of it I deleted because I just didn't know how to deal with people's emotions. Um, yeah, it took me like 9 months to like really start sharing memes and just like leaving them up. Like a lot of my old Flat Earth stuff got deleted because I just didn't know how to talk to people about it, and it was just like nobody wants to be attacked, to be the outsider, be, that weird, whatever. But then, I mean, you just can't get away from the truth, Really can't. Um, oh, you know what? Give me 1 second. You must not be in my live chats that often, Dr. Bass Ackwards, because I have not given you a wrench, which is unacceptable. So, let me pull that up. It's going to be sound, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, let me get the chat up, and there we go. Add moderator. There you go. You have the power now. I think it was around the same time for me, maybe late 2017, whenever Owen Benjamin was getting into it. He showed Taboo's Flat Earth Journey video, and I was instantly blown away. And that flat fellow, hello, you get a wrench too, obviously. Obviously. Yeah, I woke up to Flat Earth in 2017, and then I found Owen around the same time, and it was only a few minutes, a few months after I found Flat Earth that Owen, he said, yeah, I think I'm going to do a stream on the moon landing. And I was like, oh, yes, here we go. Here we go. And it just got so good. So good after that. Owen is so smart, and he is so able to just break through programs and lies, and he's so awesome. It was so enjoyable. And Algorithm, hey, what's up? I mean, you missed story time, but now I'm just rambling about Flat Earth. And there was a question that I saw. Eric says, how is Zulu doing? He's fine. He's fine. Yeah, he's very mad at me. And I hate that. I hate that I hurt his feelings by doing trivia night. But, I don't know. Can't stay mad forever. I have nothing but love for Zulu. Nothing but love at all. There will be no talking shit about him. Not one bit. Because I have nothing but love for Zulu. So, it is what it is. So, I'm just going with the flow, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, he is doing fine. You were streaming? That's no problem. Everyone's allowed to stream. Okay, bye, 888. Enjoy your race tomorrow. He's one of those crazy people who likes to just run for fun for like 10 miles. Oh, it's like painful to even think of that. So I love working out, but I'm so not a runner. It's not my forte, not my thing. Mad props to people who it is their thing. Everybody's got to have a thing. Everybody's got to have a way to move their body that they like, and mad props if you found that way. So, yeah, but I'm not a runner. Zulu is a badass. He is. Yep, He is for sure. And I got nothing but love for him. So I hope that he comes around and that he doesn't stay mad at me forever, because he's a dear friend of mine. And yeah, I would hate to think that our friendship is over, but you just never know. Life is crazy sometimes. Gotta go later. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by, Eric. Always appreciated. I used to run when I was chased, but then I learned guns. Exactly. You only run if you're being chased. That's it. And I mean, the zombies around me, they're pretty overweight, so I think if I had to run, I could outrun them. So, or I can just sit in a tree with my bow and just take them out that way. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, I'm looking forward to taking my throwing knives to the Bears Giving this weekend. That's going to be a lot of fun. Who could stay mad at me? You know, you would be surprised, I guess. I don't know. I think that I'm pretty awesome. But, you know, everybody can have their own opinion. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. I don't know what really. Paintball gun? You know, I've never done paintball. And I really want to. I think it would be a lot of fun. One of my gal friends asked me if I wanted to go to a rage room with her in Tacoma, and I would love to, but Washington is not breathing tolerant, so you have to, or like they highly suggest and demand that you limit your breathing by covering your face. And some places you can get away with it, no problem. But I pretty much only go to the places that I know I can get away with it. I don't try to go to places that I'm unsure are going to hassle me. And a lot of places are requiring that you show your stamp card for, how many things that you've taken in your arm. You know what I mean? Like, paintballs would be effective weapons against Robo-Dog. I think so. Yeah, I agree. I would love to go paintballing. I think that would be super fun. And you're in California, right, Doctor? So, yeah, the next time I do a road trip to California, I'll have to stop by and meet you maybe. I did a road trip this summer, and it was quite fun. I got to meet Barbara Zena Bear. I got to see Crumb. I met Barbara's son, Stephen, Real Cosmology. And I got to see Stu Finelli. I got to see Daryl Davis and his weed farm. And Nathan Thompson was there. And yeah, I just went on like a friend road trip and saw all the people, saw the sights. It was a really good time. Santa Cruz, nice. So how close is that to, like, where is that in regards to? I mean, I went to LA. That was super far down. Okay. Oh, Sue says you're not too far from her. Okay, nice. She's in the Bay Area, so that's cool. Yeah, that would be super awesome. I still need to find a campground for Conspiracy Camp. Just don't disrespect Kevin. He's a stand-up brother. I don't disrespect people. I don't even know Kevin. Unless that's Dr. Bass here. And, I mean, I just know people by their YouTube names. But was I saying? Oh yeah, I still need to find a campground for conspiracy camp next year, and uh, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it in California. I would do Washington, Oregon, or California because those are all within a day's driving of me. And yeah, Santa Cruz, they just mandated that you have to wear a mask everywhere. Oh my gosh, yeah. It, I can't. Like I can't. I can't. It's so insane. I mean, the people here in Washington, like you see people in their car wearing them. And what's really weird is when there's two people in the car and one is wearing them. I don't understand. Like, aren't you both afraid? Or I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's like people are just insane. Carrie Skates, what's happening? What's happening? Um, what's that? Yeah, it's people are insane. I can't get over it. Mask in all public spaces in our towns. Yeah, the mandate in Washington is in place indefinitely, basically. Like there's no end in sight in it ever lifting. So I feel like that in itself is a good enough reason to do even more live streams and try and get to where I don't have to work for other people, because like right now I'm in my bedroom and nobody's bandating my face in here. So yeah. Um but I'm going to the Bears Giving on Sunday, and I'm going to take some art stuff that I've made to sell to the peoples. So there's that. But I've also got a little craft fair in my neighborhood next week on December 4th. So I'm going to sell even more art stuff. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I think that I need to just embrace being an artist as a living and a live streamer, because I can do both of those things in my own house, in my PJs if I want. And it's like, I might look nice with my shirt, my face. You don't know. I could be wearing pajamas on, on the bottom half. You don't know at all. Nobody knows. um, but yeah, I'm going to be making these I think they're going to be really awesome. They're going to be like copper wire with stones, like crystals, and I'm going to make these pretty little hanging trees of life. So, super excited. It's good to see you as well, Carrie Skates. Let me see. The more they push, the more I resist. Yeah, exactly. The more that you should. We shouldn't tolerate this. It wouldn't be going on for almost 2 years if people would just stand up and push back against it. I'm going to tell y'all right now, as a single lady, there is nothing more unattractive than seeing a really attractive guy walk up to the store and cover his lovely face. What are you doing? You just erased all forms of attractiveness. The same if I'm talking to someone and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I took the the stamp card. My arm took that. Went with that." Like, well, we have no reason to talk anymore then. Why are you here? Like, do you think that I'm going to be able to talk to you about flat earth, about Tartaria, about like, hidden civilizations, anything like that, if you took the stamp card? No way. No way. Zero chance. Like, just gonna be single forever at this point. I mean, flip it back. After Brian, good to see everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Algorithm. You are awesome. Let's see. They start telling people what to do in their homes. It's time to physically remove the policymakers because they've clearly lost their minds and crossed the line. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think just not being a part of their society is like the best route. Because I'm not advocating anybody choose violence. I just say, like, these are all the things that they're offering us. And I don't want any of that stuff. Because to be in normal society, we're going to have to, get your stamp card filled of sticks in your arm. You're probably going to become gay and retarded or just die. And um all for what? To go to an overpriced concert? To go to a football game? Like, who the fuck wants to go to a sports game and listen to like get mad that like your team lost or whatever? Or like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go to the movie theater and watch a movie that's programming us? I mean, they don't offer us anything good. Like, I don't want to live in your honeycomb. I don't want to eat your food. I don't want to participate in what you are offering for society. Ginger Sugar Bush 905, what's up? Um, and a homesteader, growing food is something that excites me going forward. Growing food is so much fun. It is so fun to grow food. It it's never not a good time. It's not like the system will allow humanity to get away. No, exactly. They want you in their sheep pens. They want to be able to herd you, and they want to be able to farm you. Like, they don't want, if you're going to be in that system, they want you to be a certain way. But if you remove yourself from the system, they don't really care. They're, nobody cares. Like the elites or whatever, they don't care what the Amish are doing. They don't care at all. They like those people don't even exist in that paradigm because they have more than enough people who are willing to just go along with the nonsense that they're like, why do we even care about those people? They don't even exist. They don't even see you. And so yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we need a flat earth town. That's that's what needs to happen, because nothing in society is going to entice me to wanting to be with those people. Flat Earth Town, though, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. I never grew food, only weed. Told my wife before this team came out, she takes it, she's on her own. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate to think like that, but dude, how can you date a person like that? How? I mean, my son's dad is total zombie. I mean, and it's crazy. If I hadn't broken up with him, I would be one of those zombies. 100%. I would never have found flat Earth, never have found the bears. I would not have woken up at all. And I 100% know that I would have worn a mask this whole time, and I would have had I'd have my 3-hole punch card already for just being compliant and getting the taking shots at shots. Yeah. Yeah. Full of nonsense? Yeah, well, we know that, not cute. I mean, we established that already. It's fine. Everybody's got their thing. Whatever. Whatever. In the book of Brave New World, there was the savages that had refused to participate in their world. They live by the old norm. Yeah, exactly. Let's live by the old norm. Make our own norm. Like, make our own new normal and make it awesome. Make it crush. But yeah, that's like, growing food is so easy. Like, it's so ridiculously easy, and it's so much fun. It's really, like, it never gets boring to just pull something right out of the ground, dust off the dirt, and just eat it. Like you feel that it's still living and that you're like getting like you're getting good life from it. I mean, not cute. Like, do you want to be banned? Is that what you want? I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. Are you making a joke? I don't get it. Like, I already warned you. Just talk about a garden, okay? Not cute. Like, can you please go buy a pack of seeds and plant it and sit by it and watch it grow, okay? Just do that and then comment that in my stream. Let's go baseball, just ball, bunch of nonsense. Yeah, exactly. What, like, I'm down to play sports, like play some soccer. Yeah, heck yeah. Play some tennis. Sounds super fun. I don't want to watch it. Who the heck wants to watch it? No way. Sounds so awful. Imagine your loved one gets injured, though hang around to see that after what you know. Yeah, like I can't imagine. I've been like begging my son's dad to not give our son this now that it's approved for 5-year-olds. I'm like begging him, please don't do this. Like I'm so worried. And I'm just I'm hoping that he kind of listens. I don't know. It's hard. He is a zombie, so it's hard. Let's see. My side of the family, only my older brother took it. Wife's side, different story. All our family and friends, work colleagues are in it. Yeah, most of my family has taken it too. They're pressuring my granny to take it. And she's like, I don't leave my house. Like, why? What do I need to take it for? I don't care. Like, I'm really glad that my mom and granny both are. I live with them, and oh, I'm sorry, the hiccups. A phone in your hand is as big as a brick. Yeah, I know. It's real. It's real giant. I like big phones. Can't help it. Can't help it. Let's see. Roof garden 2022 is my goal. Roof to plate. Yes. Yes, do that. Do that. That's an excellent goal. Because, I mean, you can grow so much. You can grow so much stuff in just a little space. The weather's been awful here, and so I need to dig up some of my lettuces and bring them inside, put them under the grow lights because it's been raining so much. And I mean, it's been kind of sunny the last couple days, but like it has been raining so much. But I mean, really, get some grow lights. And I have this little it's like a $40 greenhouse. It's got like 4 shelves on it. It's just sitting in my room over here. Some grow lights on it. You can put that bad boy in a closet out of the way. Won't even see it, but it's super fun to watch your food grow. So I would suggest you put it somewhere that you can see it. But just plant anything. Plant anything at all. Get a pack of seeds. Just plant it. See what it does. I mean, it's so much fun. And like a tomato right off the plant. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so good. And yeah, I am trying to learn about foraging mushrooms. I don't know at all which ones are edible. More so, I don't know which ones are edible in a good way, edible in a I'm going to trip out way, or edible in it's going to kill you way. Because you can eat any mushroom once, but yeah. And I'm not opposed to tripping out a little bit. Wouldn't mind microdosing or like whatever. But I'm not trying to die on a trail eating a mushroom. But yeah, it's definitely something that I want to learn more about because I mean, it's free food out in the yard, basically. But I got some really good pictures of of mushrooms the other day when I went out looking, and it's really fun. I like it a lot. But yeah, I do want to learn, okay, like which ones are the right kind of edible. And I think that I could get, I could definitely identify chanterelles. Those are pretty easy ones. Oyster mushrooms. Would love to find lion's mane. That's a super good brain mushroom. But yeah, let's see. People these days watch other people play video games. So crazy. Yeah, I know. Like, if I wanted, I could play video games and tons of people would probably watch me. Why wouldn't they? But I don't know. I thought about that, but I would play like Mario. And I mean, my son has a Spyro the Dragon game on his Switch. That's kind of fun too. But I don't know. I just get like really bored of video games really quickly. So they don't hold me for long. So I feel like streaming it would, I don't know, maybe it would be a good time. I mean, I would probably have to like talk about flat earth or something like while I was playing, just, educate the people while they're watching. Growing season is basically over till spring. It's getting cold out. You know what, Ginger? Some stuff actually gets way better tasting when it grows in the cold. Like all the root vegetables, carrots, beets, turnips, rutabagas, radishes, those all get sweeter when it's cold out. And kale gets really nice and sweet when it gets a good frost on it. So, I mean, a lot of stuff can still be grown even though it's cold. And even if it's like snowing, I've seen people make little greenhouses in the in the in the ground, and they just put a cover on it with like clear plastic or like kind of opaque plastic, and they've like come out and lifted the lid, and snow was all on the top of the lid. Lift it up and just pull something right out of the ground there. So there's a lot of stuff you can grow even though it's cold. Let's see. Many things in school, outside, quit football, 17-18, one of my regrets. I mean, you can always start playing again, or like start coaching kids football. That might be kind of fun. Or like start your own league. Find some people around you. If you're on the Flat Earth app, find people around you and be like, hey, I want to play some football. Do you want to play some football? I bet you could find some people. That'd be super fun. Weather outside is frightful, but to me it's so delightful. Don't have anywhere to go. Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. I mean, you can have the snow. I'll take one day of snow, but that's about my limit. I'm a very frost tender flower, so I love the fall, but I really love spring and summer. I really I like wearing, shorts and sundresses, being warm and just being outside all the time. I'm definitely solar powered. Bye 7-Eleven, Lucas. You keep saying that you're leaving, but you just keep getting sucked in. Oh, and oh, you know what? Let me give you a wrench before you go, Clem Fandango. Come on. There it is. But thank you so much for being here. Always appreciated. And I'm looking forward to meeting you on Sunday. Clem Fandango is Shoegazer Bear. So I don't know if you were ever in Owen's live chat or not. But I met him on the Bears app, and we get to meet in person this Sunday at Bears Giving here in Washington. So super excited for that. Super excited. Indoor growing became more vital, 100%. Yep, 100%. Because, I mean, if you can grow anything, you should. You should grow something. Anything at all. Anything that you can eat. Even if it's just lettuce in a bowl, you should definitely grow it. You should definitely do that. Play duck hunt? Now that would be fun. Heck yeah. When I was young, I had Peter the Dragon game. That's funny. Games that no one else has heard of. That'd be fun. I play this stupid balloon popping game on my phone. It's called Balloons TD6. And I mean, it's fun enough, but I don't know. I don't know if it's fun enough for a live stream. My cover is blown now. Yeah, count on me to do that. I will do that. I will call the people out. I will. Be like, hey, you want to know this guy's alias? Because that's what it is. Yeah. But they still don't know your actual name. Ooh, plot thickens. Like Autumn the Best. Autumn is pretty awesome. Because I love Halloween. I don't care what anyone says. I love Halloween and I love Christmas. And I'm not going to apologize. Not ever. Not now. Not later. Not ever. Meetups, onwards and upwards. Yes. Yes, indeed. Indoor growing in Mexico, my electricity bill is $10, $15 a month. What? $10, $15 for 2 months? Get out of here. Now that is that is awesome. You know, people always say, oh, I'm going to leave the country. I'm going to go to Canada. Why wouldn't you go to Mexico? I mean, land is cheap down there. And like you can find good communities down there. So you're not, in danger of being drug trafficked or whatever the heck. But I mean, why wouldn't you go to Mexico? Like the food is so good there, so cheap. You can eat so much food for like $5. I mean, so good. And yeah, like awesome growing season. I mean, you can grow stuff all year round. Just sounds so nice. I don't want like Canada's nice to visit, but oof, no. If I'm leaving the country, like hopping the border, Mexico, definitely. 100%. 100%. But I'm white, so I'm definitely in danger a little bit if I'm in the wrong neighborhood there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. When I was young, it was more important. Name that tune. Nope. I never will. Can't make me. I already forgot Clem. No one is ever gonna forget Clem. 8 million pesos. I mean, that's like, is that $5? Is that what I said? Yeah. So, I'll be a queen down there with my $100 or whatever. Who would want to go to Canada? Yeah, exactly. You go there for a weekend and then you come back and you're like, well, now what? Okay. Safe here, Querétaro, Mexico. Apparently cartels have an agreement. No trouble in the state. Sounds legit. Yeah. Like I would love to go to Mexico. I think it's great. I've been there on cruises and yeah, I like Mexico. Which obviously like when you go on a cruise, you're going to go to tourist Mexico, which is different than normal Mexico, but not drug cartel Mexico, though. it's not bad. But yeah, I've been to Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, Belize, Mazatlan, I don't know, a few other places. But yeah, Mexico is legit. I like it there. I actually just re-downloaded Duolingo so that I can brush up on my Spanish. Because I took 2 years of Spanish in high school, but I've never been fluent in Spanish. So I would like to get fluent in Spanish, learn a second language. It's a useful skill to have. And like so many people speak Spanish, that definitely a useful language. And yeah, since I already took two years of it, I know how to pronounce stuff. I know, know the alphabet, I do remember some words I could put together, small sentences, whatever. But yeah, I would like to be fluent in Spanish. So we'll go anywhere in this state anytime alone. Heck yeah. Like, I hesitate going alone places here in Washington. Lived here my whole damn life. And that's some places it's like, I ain't setting foot in that place. Are you crazy? No way. No way. Mexico's awesome. Used to go to Baja all the time. Driven the whole stretch. Nice. Mexico is the best place in the world during this hoax. Came here 2017. Never leave, God willing. Heck yeah. Love the cheap lobster in Puerto Nuevo. No way. Started Duolingo earlier today. Awesome. Awesome. Many bars, restaurants get a beer for $1. Heck yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like $5 for a big ass plate of like enchiladas, fresh guacamole, fresh pico de gallo. Oh, phew, yes, in heaven there. And like it's always sunny. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. Like I get so I'm not cut out for the cold. I'm just not. Like I don't know what is in my like ancestry that I'm just like not cut out for the cold because I know I have Scottish in me and probably other European mix of whatever. So like I'm definitely like white. But no, I am solar powered, frost tender flower. Give me the sun. Oh yeah, so nice. Wear sundresses, just that's where it's at. Like go swimming in the warm water. Yeah. Always wanted to swim with sharks. I think that was super fun. When I went to Cabo, oh man, I was pregnant, so it was 2011. Whew, that was some hard math there. Yeah, 2011 was like 6 weeks pregnant, and I went to Cabo San Lucas, and my gal friend that I was with, we did a dolphin trainer for a day, and so we got to train the dolphins, go like behind the scenes, learn how they take care of the dolphins, all that. And Algo, you made it back. Yay. I thought you went to bed, but I'm glad that you're back. But yeah, so we got to do behind the scenes. We got to learn how to get fed. And then we got to learn how to teach them like a couple tricks. You do like this and they'll swim around the pool. And then we got to get our pictures taken as they like swam us around a lap around the pool. Oh, and it was just such a delight. And so I've always wanted to go back and do like a shark excursion because I want to swim with sharks. Maybe like do some coral reefs, diving, something like that. Something sweet. I think that'd be awesome. And I think it's going to be a couple weeks, but I'm going to be adding in a second stream. It's going to be conspiracy chat on Thursdays. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving, the alleged how Thanksgiving happened. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it. Then next week I'm going to be talking about Admiral Byrd. And then after that, I am going to be talking about some like hidden underwater like temples or just cool shipwrecks, something, whatever. I'm just gonna like find some good like underwater topics like that. And then eventually I'll be talking about the world fairs. So I have a lot of streams coming up. It's going to be really exciting. But that'll be on Thursday nights. Storytime will still be on Wednesdays. And yeah, just trying to add in more streams in the week. So let's see. Anything else I am missing here? Like how the money exchange in Mexico is always spelled exchange in big letters on the building. They're like, yes, please come bring your dollars here. We want them. We want your dinero. Mexican beers are awesome. Drinking a Victoria now. Salud, amigos. You have a raccoon living in your basement. Oh my gosh, can you catch it and make it a pet? I have always wanted a trash panda as a pet. And I am not going to be sorry over that. I always wanted to catch one though as a baby because then I can like train it to not be a psychopath and it will like me and it will be my friend. Yes. I apologize to whoever I end up dating because you're going to have to put up with the fact that I will have a raccoon as a pet. I'm not going to apologize. Not now, not ever. Had to go tease a squirrel. I mean, that could be taken many ways. I don't even know. Okay, I'm out. Have a good Thanksgiving. So long, farewell. Oof, Wiedersehen. Good night. Good night, Eric. Thank you, as always, for being here. Oh, no, we don't want that. Come on now. Sister-in-law took a video of a guy getting munched by a gator. I have a conspiracy no one has talked about before. Ooh, ooh. Pomog bombing in Northern Ireland, 98. Sounds like it could be interesting. Took a video of the same raccoon like a year ago. It's on my channel. I mean, clearly it wants to be your pet. There's no other explanation. Like, obviously it wants to be your pet. It wants to be your buddy. Like, I am a sucker for a video of a raccoon like sitting with like a bowl of snacks on its lap, like eating the snacks with its little hands. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't handle it. It's so cute. I can't handle it. I want a trash panda so bad. So bad. Wanted one for years. And I will not stop until I get one. I will never apologize. Not 100% on it, though the pictures sure do look suspicious. I have to check that out. Have to check that out for sure. Supposedly the worst terrorist attack ever in Northern Ireland. Interesting. I mean, you don't really think of Northern Ireland having terrorist attacks. Seems like a pretty low-key place for something like that to happen. So, yeah, that sounds very interesting, actually. You guys are all the best guys and gals in the realm. Watch my video. Raccoon is rummaging for days. It's so cute. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm a sucker for the trash pandas. Oh, those little bandits. They're so cute. So cute. Oh my, I mean, images, flames coming from people's. I mean, you want to look at it right now? Let's see. Let's see. Where's my freaking cursor? The Lady Lacey Show! Yay! Hi! Well, if you're new here, then you don't have a wrench. And you need to have a wrench because you're awesome. Like my background? Thank you. It's a tapestry. If I can grab it. See? It's a tapestry. And it's a map of Narnia. And when we start the Lord of the Rings series, I will be getting a map of Middle Earth. So it's going to be awesome. But yeah, that's my map of Narnia. I love it. It's great. I love you so much, Lady Lacey. You're awesome. Let's look up this bombing because now I'm curious. Oh my bombing. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to take you all on this journey with me. Let's do it. Screen share. There we go. Let's see what we can find. Do you all see it? Is it on screen? It's on screen. Nice. Okay, so let's see what Wikipedia says about it. I mean, I know that they're generally just, they can be full of nonsense. We want the pictures. Okay, they're not going to have pictures on there. Oh, wait. Got a picture here. That's not a very good picture. Not a fan. Let's see what else they. Let's go back to this. Images. That's what I want. That's really what I want. This doesn't even look like what I would imagine Ireland to look like. And with, I mean, how they can do just like fake things, you never know. Because like they could have blocked off this area to like this area or whatever, and this all just be like a staged bunch of nonsense. You just never even know. What else? Let me read in here what y'all saying. People standing there you go. People standing about like a film set. It's exactly what it looks like. You think it's the like let's get yeah, like what are these guys doing? Just hanging out in their business suits? Like I mean it definitely looks like a film set, like without question. Because the way that they do these fake things, whatever, like they just block off a small like a small area, and then you only get certain angles, and it's like they just blocked off this. Oh well, no, we don't want your stupid ad. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Get out of here. Men aren't supposed to shave their beards. Stop it. Leave men's beards alone, you psycho. So yeah, I mean, they could have just blocked off this this little block here, and then it's like, what even got blown up? Did they blow up a furniture store? Like, what are they doing? Time where the peace process was a crucial stage. Catholic organization IRA supposedly bombed in the Catholic area. It didn't make sense. IRA. IRA supposedly bombed it. It's always IRA. Weren't there? Oh no, I don't want TikTok. No. We're not trying to go to TikTok. Goodness. Wasn't there crisis actors caught changing their outfits in one of those shootings over there? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Northern Ireland was a war zone from '69 to 2007. When I think of Ireland, I think of like lush green grasses for some reason. But this, I mean, like, what is all this shit? Like, and there's just like a random wheelbarrow here. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening here. Let's see if we can find some more pictures. Let's see what else they got going on. Are they? Oh, it's not really like out of the normal for them to wear masks. Yeah, like we accept your cookies. It's fine. Whatever you fucking need. Nobody cares. Um, yeah, I don't know. It all just looks like they blew up a look, there's an old lady. It looks like they blew up a furniture store, really. I mean, like, are the buildings just are they really made out of this like crappy plywood? Really? I don't know. Seems like nonsense. Scroll down better ones. Let's see. Let's find some better ones. Oh, what's this one? Is this a better one? Is that one we've seen? Look for photos with flames. Okay. Oh, we don't care. We don't care. I don't want to register. Don't make me buy your bullshit. Come on now. Come on. This, like, what is this? Is this a dresser sitting there? He just all looks so ridiculous. This guy just like chilling with his umbrella here. There was just just an explosion, and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna stand here with my umbrella. Come on. Oh. Or do we have people on the ground? No, it's just like tires. Maybe this window got broken. Did this car get melted? Was that a car? A random wheelchair or something right here. Random chair. But like, what is this? Did something get melted? It's all crazy. Ooh, what's this one? We got a lot of people here now. What are they doing? They're just looking? Oh, okay, yeah, they're just having a memorial. Like, marks 20 years because, we don't ever want you to forget it. Hey, you remember that awful thing that happened back then? Here we go. You got to relive it every freaking year. Seems interesting. Seems like, oh, that's a good one. Aerial shot. Okay, look at that one. Let's see what's going on with it. Some photos you can see old women walking past me and not see. Yeah, freaking ridiculous people. Oh, like, okay, sure, I'll accept it. Whatever. Like, find my information, try and make me stupid and gay. All that they're doing. Like, I mean, oh, so maybe all that wood was like from this roof or whatever here. I mean, why would a roof blow up like that? It just all seems mighty sus. Let's see. These guys just like, oh, there's a disaster. Here, get on my back. Let's go piggyback ride. So you can really see it, really be traumatized. What are these guys doing? Oh, I see a flame. I see a flame right there. I seen it. 29 innocent people slaughtered. How do you know they were innocent? What if they were awful? I don't know. What if they were... You don't know. Yeah, I mean, the news is it's just nonsense. Like, there's like a little tiny fire there. Let's see. These people all just like standing around. Guy got his head smashed, looks like. Random like car that's like on fire, melted. These people, like, look at this lady just like laying there. Like, nobody's panicking at all. Nobody's like trying to help these people who are on the ground. They're just like, oh, they're just gonna lay down and take a little nap, whatever. I don't know. It all seems fishy. I mean, at this point, like, it's just hard to believe anything that these psychopaths say. If you haven't watched Ollie Damagard's The War on Terror, that documentary is really good, really interesting. Really shows how they do all these fake, fake things. Seems interesting. Quite interesting. Yeah. Seems like a good time. Flames from the feet. Um, put my email. I guess I can type it out because it's a long one. There we go. Yeah, that's my email. Man, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Normally have an hour and a half in story time, but we're just going to keep going for it, apparently. Pretty sure no one has ever called it out. Called it out for being fake or just mentioned it in general. I mean, there's so many of these things that happen that pretty sure no one has. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I can hear I can hear my mom and granny talking about Thanksgiving tomorrow, whatever, making plans. I'm the first online to share it. Well, I appreciate you sharing the info. That was an interesting look there. Because yeah, I definitely have never heard of that. But I mean, yeah, so much of this stuff is just pure nonsense. Not cute. More like not banned yet. Wink. I mean, do you want to get banned? Like, what are you doing? Not cute. We're talking about this fake bombing. What are you doing? I don't understand. Are you high? Do you need to be high? I don't even know. Anyway. I think I'm about to get out of here. Because I've been on for almost 2.5 hours. It's been a great time. But I hope you all will join me tomorrow for Thanksgiving stream. I'll be on probably around like 7 or 8. I don't know, depending on what time we do dinner. Then I'll be on later, and we'll be talking about Thanksgiving. And then you can call into my show, and you can ladle gravy on Thanksgiving, and you will be required to tell me one thing that you're thankful for. Don't make it inappropriate. Don't be a psychopath. Make it something good that you're thankful for. There's something in this crazy world that you can be thankful for. Good night and happy Thanksgiving Eve-ish. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I hope you get fat on food and full of life and just enjoy the time. Enjoy the day. And don't take no shit. Don't give no fucks. Just get it done. I don't even know what I'm saying. But anyway, join me tomorrow for Thanksgiving gravy. And yeah, you can call into my show. And it's just going to be a really good time. So let's do this again tomorrow, y'all. Thank you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I'm always watching. If I'm not watching this, I'm watching on my phone. I see you. I see y'all. So yeah, join me tomorrow. Yes, I just got it. Carrie skates. Just got it. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting out of here because I'm getting tired. But I appreciate you all being here. Let me give some shout outs before I go. Oh wait, there's an easier way to do it. Chat participants. There we go. Okay, hello to Carrie Skates. Not cute. Sue Finelli, Lady Lacey Show. I don't know, there's more people here, but it's not showing you because they're not chatting. Sue Finelli, team leader, the best. Eric DeLeon was here. Dr. Bass Ackwards. The Lady Lacey Show. You crush. Algorithm. I think he took off. Barbara Zena Bear. So many good people. I'm so glad that you all like story time. Makes me really happy. Because, I mean, I like streaming, but I like it because my friends are here. So, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I hope you have an awesome day tomorrow. Hope you get really fat and full on food and life and love and laughter and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll put out a link when I know better, like what time I will be streaming, probably about 7 or 8, I'm guessing. So you can stop by and enjoy some gravy and call into my show. It's going to be my first call-in show ever. It's going to be a real good time. So, yeah, I thank you all for being here. Much love. And I'll see you all on the flat side. Bye.